gotta do?
We gotta do a book review.
A book review for you.
Ooh, lots of rhyming. I
know.
like rhyming.
We are going to review this book. This book is red.
But is it red?
Oh!
All right, tell them the deets.
Deets. Book deets.
The deets of the book, please.
Book deets. This book is Red, written by Michael Hall, published by HarperCollins Children's Books in 2015. So it's been around a little while. It's going to be really hard to avoid the spoilers.
Yeah, it's a picture book.
We may, since it's been around a little while, we might...
Well, look at it this way. A lot of the people that it will be read to will not see this.
They won't. Because for the first time, we have some little visiting excerpts from the person who recommended this book.
That's true.
Who is a dear friend of mine and a new friend of hers, Audra Mahan, who is a teacher at Spectrum Academy in Utah. So she's far away.
Yes.
So we are going to go into the likes and the oints. And oint is a combination of the words point, observation, and opinion. Oint.
Oint.
But right now, what are your likes?
My likes are, first of all, I don't know, can you guys see if you haven't seen me before? Purple. I have purple hair. I've had purple hair for most of my adult life, actually. Purple is my color that I worship, no joke, since I knew what color was. The star of the show is purple. Purple is the heroine of the whole story. So I love that purple is being shown for its true colors. Purple is able to see beyond labels because it is both blue and red. So it is a perfect balance of hot, cold, yin, yang, etc. Mm-hmm. And I sort of started to get into it because this book deals with seeing through labels and not just thinking whatever is on the outside is the whole of the person, because it isn't. In fact, often it barely scratches the surface of the person. The way Michael Hall has done this is so beautifully simple yet incredibly impactful. Which is very hard to do, by the way. If you're not a writer, let me just tell you, it's really hard to do. So I love the way that he gets this message across in using words and pictures that, frankly, 5 to 105 can embrace. But it's very clever the way he uses color to stand in for humans. And his color choices, for example, Red's grandparents are silver and gray. It just makes me laugh. I don't know if 5-year-olds will get it, but I think it's really funny. So it would be the kind of book which I wouldn't mind reading over and over again. In fact, I've read it 3 times already.
There's just so much to like. And Audra certainly shared a lot of her points.
When you asked me about the book, I picked this book because I feel like the red crayon. I love this book because of the acceptance part, and again, I can tie it into being gay. I can tie it into so many things that you're not what you seem on the outside, but yet at the same time, they sort of went to it blindly, and that's intriguing to me.
Yeah. So this is told from the point of view of Pencil. And Pencil is kind of like the narrator.
Yeah.
And Pencil is the friend of Red. Red is this crayon. Now, if you look carefully, the label is red.
But what isn't red?
As labels so often do, they misjudge things. In this case, it did a good job of mislabeling this one. But all its fellow crayon people and office supply people saw was the label. That's all they saw. So he bought into it and said, I am Red. Why am I not able to do this?
Yeah, this is his teacher's red strawberries.
So his mom, Olive, there we go. His mom doesn't understand it. She's encouraging him, trying to be really gentle and loving, but saying, you can do it, just keep practicing,
make friends,
you'll find. And I'm trying to make,
so this was supposed to be an orange.
It's supposed to be an orange, and it turned out to be that. And
a lime.
Yeah. And, he tried his grandparents, silver and gray.
And look how little they are.
And another like of mine is that age is portrayed here very interestingly, because the taller and pointier the crayon is, the younger it is, because, of course, it hasn't been used much. And everybody's making these comments.
Telling them how to be red.
Sometimes I wonder if he's really red at all. He came that way from the factory. It must be, the way he's supposed to be.
It's kind of like when you believe everything you've read.
Yeah. Now, I wonder...
That was a pun. I didn't even know I was doing that.
It's just that. We pun. I don't think it takes too much insight to kind of figure out the kinds of human people, rather than crayon people, who would be receiving these kinds of messages.
You have this whole page here. You have this whole page crayons say, and these silly, horrible reasons for why the red crayon is not performing. And then all of a sudden, you get to this back page, and voila! It's like they came to this acceptance, but they came to this acceptance without any work.
He gets in with the other school supplies, and they're all giving him similar messages.
Now, do you want to talk about an oint? Because there's an oint on this page for you.
My big oint here, and all of them disturb me, because these are meant to disturb the listener and the reader. You know, the masking tape one really bothers me a lot. Masking tape thought that maybe Red was simply broken and needed to be put back together. So he tapes him, might I add, unnecessarily, because Red is not broken. Red is different. And that is a very resonant point, and I think an awful lot of human people interpret things as broken that actually aren't, and that actually require acceptance, rather than masking tape.
Or trying to change them.
Yeah. But then,
then my favorite part.
a new friend, real pointy, brand new, and says,
Wait, what color is it?
purple. It's purple. And it says, I need an ocean. Purple did not see the label.
Nope.
Purple saw what was inside.
The person, or the crayon, however you want to look at it.
Never even mentioned the label.
Nope.
Went right into, you're going to draw my ocean. What color are oceans? Blue. And Red says, can't, I'm red. And all Purple has to say is, try. Just try.
Gotta love purple.
And he did. And he did.
And it was brilliant.
And
look at all he's making now.
now,
A blue whale, jeans.
suddenly, everybody changes their tune. Audra had a bit to say about that as well.
I'm just fascinated by the love and accepting of the new blue crayon.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a little ticked off at the page that, frankly, I don't think he's very bright. Well, I think he's lazy. It's kind of, in today's world, that idea of being a follower. Did they accept him because they were following somebody, or did they truly accept him?
Audra, we love you, but I must say, I actually disagree with your point of view. Here's why. Because I would like this book to be a role model to all the crayons, also known as kids, and whoever else reads it out there. I feel that choosing acceptance doesn't have to be hard. We make it hard. Me included. I'm not saying I'm above this. But when I was thinking about your comment about the alacrity, I love that word,
That's a good one.
the alacrity of the change in this book, I said to Christina, I'm kind of happy about it. Now, I'm biased because, of course, it's Purple who did it, so I always love Purple. But also I thought, we can choose anytime we want to just change. It's up to us. I mean, we can't control other people, but we can control our reactions. So any of these crayons at any time could have decided to look at red, like Purple did, and see blue. And in this case, I guess they needed Purple, who's balanced, right, blue and red, to lead the way. But I love the fact that once Purple made it clear what red could do, and that he was really blue, they all said, okay. They didn't fight, they didn't cling to the label, they didn't stay in what might have been their comfort zone. I guess we don't know for sure because they didn't tell us. But they immediately said, cool, all right, now we see what he can do. We accept him as he is. And my hope is that as we journey on, both our efforts here and other people's efforts, including Michael Hall in this book, is that we can show people whatever happened in the past, you don't have to cling to the way you, quote, used to be.
I think that's a very excellent point. I think the hopefulness of it and the hope that this book, and again, it's got a limited number of pages.
Right.
We can't make a
Well,
novel
there's that,
out of this book. I do think that somewhere between, there's a space between where Audra's coming from and where you and I are coming from. And somewhere in there is where I think we can meet, because the difference we're talking about is this hopeful, but I do think both of us fall in an outsider category.
We do.
And the practical, this is what I've lived through, insider place that Audra's coming from. And there's a space between the two I think we can meet, because I can see her point.
Oh, I can
that,
too.
This book definitely simplifies the whole process, and definitely sometimes the process is stalled before you ever get to this point. For some people.
It is an individual thing. I mean, it depends on who you are, what preconceptions you bring to the crayon or whomever, and what it is you are accepting. I mean, I'll be the first to admit I have areas in my life where I've chosen to accept and it has happened fairly quickly, and other areas, frankly, where I'm still struggling. But I also bring a lot of baggage, being raised by people who did not choose to accept certain things. My hope is, since this is aimed at young kids who hopefully don't have a lot of past to wrestle with or learning to undo, that if we get it in their hands soon enough, that this idea you can just choose to accept may become a habit for them. But it is a wish, and of course not everyone will. Everyone's got their own timeline, and obviously I can't control that. But it didn't bother me how fast they agreed, I guess I'm saying.
And that's cool. I think for this book, I'm leaning heavier on the action, the choose part, in where we're sitting, rather than the acceptance part. Because the understanding is, acceptance is where we want to go, and how fast, or the process to which that acceptance happens, is the choice part.
Right.
And that's where it gets really sticky and kind of gray, because everybody's process to either receiving the acceptance, being accepted, or actively choosing to accept another, that's where there's all the variation, and that's where a lot of the sticky places end up. This is a book of hope, and it's meant to be for children, so it is getting to the point very quickly. But I think the lesson involved here, it's a very sophisticated lesson when you take it apart.
I agree.
I loved this book.
Yeah, thank you, Audra. I didn't know about it before you suggested it.
And I would encourage everyone to take a read, no matter how old you are, and make it part of your library. Go to the library and check it out. Go to your independent bookseller. Go to a big bookseller. Borrow it. Definitely gift it, but most importantly, read it. And I want to thank Audra.
Yeah, without you, I wouldn't have known. Did you know about this book already?
I actually did.
Okay,
I must say,
but I did not.
But this is my shtick. This is what I do: is just take all the lovely books and put them into my face. So, Audra, thank you. Loved the book. Get it. Read it. Absolutely.
Yep. Two thumbs up.
Bam. Boom. That's 4. Let's take one away. There we go.
Da-da-da. And remember, choose acceptance.
Subscribe.
Take a ride with us.